Wouldn't it be great if you could get a PhD in life through baseball? Welcome to Baseball PhD, a tour company for your brain. 30 major league teams, 100 places to see. Let's touch them all as we make the road trip of a lifetime.
A big baseball PhD welcome to Baseball Bob. Baseball Bob, how are you this morning?
Just terrific, thanks.
Now, we're here to review MLB TV. It's my understanding that as a loyal baseball fan, you've had it since its inception.
Yes, when I moved from the city where I grew up, I moved away from my boyhood team. That was not easy. But I quickly found out that in my undisclosed location under the Witness Protection Program
right.
that I'm in, that I could watch these games on MLB TV, and I have done that. And it's not just my favorite team, but I can watch any other game.
Right.
On occasion, I would be gone. I'd come home late at night. I could watch the condensed game, which would effectively be the highlights of every inning, and it might take 20 or 25 minutes to essentially get through the game. I could go back if I wanted to see it again, start and stop it. I could go back and look at the highlights of the game as well, which would be obviously fewer than 20 minutes. So,
right.
I can watch the whole game later. I can watch it live, the condensed game, the highlights. I can really get the flavor of the game.
So you're as connected now as when you left your boyhood hometown, knowing what your local team is doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the advent of the digital age. So let's look at the media center, because I've got that up on my screen, which I'm recording. And the one thing I'm going to click on, buy MLB TV, because we're going to discuss that. You know, there's two packages, a premium package and a basic package. And I think I know you fairly well. I'm going to guess that you bought the basic package.
I bought the basic package.
No, and that's good. And when we look at that, you've got HD quality where available, portability, watch on various devices. Now, for me, Baseball Bob, I also have an iPhone and an iTouch. And I bought an application called MLB at Bat 2010. Costs like $14.99 from iTunes. But that also allows me, with my MLB TV subscription, to watch or listen to games on those devices also. Do you have other devices, or are you basically a computer guy?
Just a computer. I'm not quite as advanced as you are.
Yeah, well, that's actually good. That means you're more well-rounded instead of geeky. So you can see full game archive. So it's my understanding, if your team played a game 3 days ago and you actually had time, you could go back and watch that game or listen to that game.
Yes.
And it's
you can. The interesting thing is you can watch it while you're doing something else on your computer on a smaller screen.
Right, exactly.
Or you can go to the full screen and just sit there and watch it like you would the TV. I mean, all kinds of ways of doing it, and it includes the radio broadcast as well. If for some reason you just you're too busy, you can't watch it, but you want to listen. And,
you can do it.
Everybody's got their favorite baseball announcers, doing the home game too. What my only complaint about watching it on TV is if my team is playing an away game, I get the away team broadcasters.
Okay.
Now, sometimes that's great because you get input into one of those teams that you might not get otherwise, because obviously they're following the team more closely. But some of them irritate me because they're homers. You want your guys to be homers, but not the other guys.
Right, exactly. And it sounds like the condensed game of feature, you use that a lot.
Yeah, especially if I'm out. Mm-hmm.
Now, with the premium, I mean, you can choose your home or away broadcast. You can get DVR controls, and you can get multi-game view. And I also believe you could watch like 4 games at once if you were that crazy.
Well, it's just like the NFL on Sundays,
Right.
People that buy those packages where, 8 games or something like that at once.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as we go back, I just hit my back button to the media center. You can listen to game day audio. You can watch. It shows you if it's on TV or not. Now, right now, I'm looking at a screen, and it's spring training, and it appears to me that every spring training game is not televised. But once you hit the regular season, every game is televised. The only exceptions are if it's a local game. So let's say you're sitting somewhere like in Seattle. If the local Mariners game is at home, you're not going to be able to watch it on MLB TV.
Right.
But if they're away, you can watch to your heart's content. And if you're living in Seattle, but you're a Boston Red Sox fan, every game is available for the Red Sox until they come to Seattle, because you should be buying a ticket instead of watching MLB.TV.
Right.
Okay. Have you used the feature of baseball's best games?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So for our listeners, you can pick games by the decade, and you can either watch them or listen. If you go to like the 30s and 40s, unfortunately, you're just going to get the radio broadcasts. But this is a great archive to have to get your baseball education up. And then there's also a feature of baseball's best moments. And that's a great way to learn about specific players, whether it's a Grover Cleveland Alexander or a Ted Williams. For me, I find it especially good. I'm going to click back so I don't have audio, of learning about players that were great before I was born. Because you kind of cut off. I was born in 61, so my life experience is probably 1968 onward, and you forget how good some of these old-timers were, like a Bob Feller. I learned by watching some stuff on MLB.TV that the first game he played in, he was 17, and he struck out 15 his first game. That's just unbelievable. What else?
Well, that's why they called him Rapid Robert.
Exactly. What else, in closing, do you want? You highly recommend MLB.TV?
Well, I love it. It's just like, though, if you were in your quote unquote home area, did you sit and watch every game that your team played? No. So I use it so that I can watch those several dozen games a year. I'm just not going to be able to watch it live every game. But the neat thing is we've gone over. You can come in and watch the condensed games yesterday, several days ago, what have you. It's really a great way to keep up. That condensed game is a great feature for busy people, because in less than a half hour, you get the whole game.
Right. You get the whole game, and you'll be just as smart as the other folks at the water cooler the next day who sat and watched the game for 3 hours. So thank you very much, Baseball Bob.